My name is Don Campbell, and we're going to do a video today on how to reduce cognitive load by using proximity indexing software. Proximity means a word within 10 words of another word in this example. To start with, we had to gather content in order to make this possible. There's two separate steps that go on in this process, and that is that you have to gather content, and then you have to index it with an indexing engine, and then they're able to go into another system to identify those things you want to identify. So I started by taking everything that was in week 4, as you can see here, and you can see the amount of files that I did in one particular folder. There were actually several folders, and they were other articles, like in this one there was another article. So altogether there were 248 articles, and that meant 1.2 million words. And that's a formidable amount of information to look through quickly, so we're going to show you some ways of doing that. Now, because we're studying cognitive load, and we're looking at also at the word schema, because that was in the exam, then we're going to go up here and look at schema first. And we find that we look for a schema by itself, and it will give you 229 hits and 31 documents. So you imagine you put that all over on one table, and now we're going to look at cognitive load and see how many occasions there are in that. And we're going to do just cognitive in this case, and we're going to find that we have 3,180 hits and 96 documents, which is a large amount. So we have two tables with that amount of stuff. But now let's say that we reduce that, and instead of looking for those two words, we look for schema, and that's within 10 words of cognitive. And all of a sudden, we've got something that's more germane to what we're talking about, and it's only 91 hits and 10 documents. If we put that on the third table, it's a lot easier to appreciate that that's the table. Maybe we'll start on that one first, because it'll have things that are more appropriate to what we're interested in. That's a big improvement over using the Control F function that many people use in both Acrobat and as well as Microsoft Word. And now we could do more complex searches by doing 2 words. So we could take, in this case, where we want to use achievement, academic achievement in this case, and we're going to look for it within 10 words of locus of control, which was on the exam. And we went through the same 1,200,000 words, and we'll see how long that takes. That's how long it takes, and that's how I do my work. In the case of doing it in the exam, I was able to do that entire thing in 30 minutes and post my references as well. One of the advantages of doing this as we do it is we're able to take in and find things that make it possible to copy and paste real easily. And in this case here, we could just look at this and say there's a second, copy and paste that, and we would have that as a starting point to do something with. And we can see an example of that when we do question 3. In the documents, in the Word document. Go down here and say this one right here, and we can look up here, a little further up here, and we can see how that was done. So I got the question. They asked me about cognitive load and schema, and that's how I found the material necessary to do that particular thing. It's lightning fast to do that. And if we look at another one that here is one where I copied and pasted the material in. To do that, I do have to I do have to change this because I have to paraphrase it, but it gives me a starting point that makes it a lot easier because I'm looking at some amount of information that's germane to what we're talking about, and that's the big help on that particular thing. So, with that, those are the fundamentals of how the concept works. And if we go up to, we notice that anytime we do a query, we're also able to do a one step further. Let me do that for you. We're going to go down to document number 19, which happens to be a Word doc, and I'm going to show you that it works better. And one other thing you could do with that is you can actually activate that document, and it will actually load that document right into Word, as you can see here. So that gives you a feeling for the power of what you can do. And that really helps you sometimes, because sometimes you can pick up all your citation and material for that. And that ends my presentation, and I really appreciate your coming and watching this.